So here I've been brought an iPad 8th generation, and the customer brought it to me because they were noticing how quickly the battery was running out and getting pretty frustrated with it. So in this video we're going to take this apart, get the old battery out and put a brand new one in. We've got a brand new one here, it looks like this, and it goes pretty much here inside the iPad, but of course you'll see that in a couple of moments time. So I've opened up this iPad 8th generation. You have to be really careful when taking these screens off not to break them, otherwise you have to fit a new screen. And you also have to be careful with this home button cable, not to tear it or rip it. And you also have to be careful not to put your fingers on these screens, because otherwise it's difficult to get your finger marks out. But now we're going to take this battery out, going to put this new one in. It's not as easy as just pulling it out. You have to heat it up and get under there and unstick the glue that's going around there. So we'll check back in with you in a moment once you've done that. Okay, so now I've got the old battery out. As you can see around here, you can see where it was stuck down with the glue, and also in the place here. Thankfully these iPads are not too difficult to get the battery out if you've got the right equipment. One thing to note as well is that you need to have ideally the battery below 25%, just in case you puncture it with a tool, and that's a fire hazard. So yep, got the old battery out, that's safe, and we're just going to discard of that properly. And now we can just do all the steps in reverse, fitting in this new battery and putting some new adhesive seal around the outside to make sure that the screen sticks properly. And I'll check back with you when it's all back together and turned on. So we've got the iPad turned on again, and we're just charging it to make sure that it's taking the charge, and you can see that it is. And on the ammeter we've got a 1.5 amp draw, and that's great. So we'll leave that, make sure that it goes up from 44 to something higher, and that should be all good to put back together. We can see that everything's working as it should at the moment. So we're going to finish off this video. I have stuck everything back together, so making sure that there's no dust underneath this screen. It's charged up to 48% now instead of 44. It's still charging at the proper rate. This fluctuates depending on what you're doing. The touch is working, which is great, and we also need to check the Touch ID is also working. Add a fingerprint, and we can see that's registering, so that is all good. Good job done there, and the user shouldn't have any issues with it powering off or running out of battery really quickly now. And that was all done within the space of a couple of hours.